Estie and I first want to thank Hashem. Estie and I first want to thank Hashem, Shechianu v'kimanu v'gianu v'zman hazeh, for the bracha of a healthy baby. We seem to have a theme of holiday babies, with Isaac born on Hanukkah and Eitan around Purim, both holidays on which we recite Al Hanisim. We take no birth for granted and recognize the hidden miracle in every child. We're blessed with a Nes Nistar on the holiday that celebrates a Nes Nistar. Coincidentally, our Nes Nistar was born to the son of Esther. We're thrilled to be celebrating this moment in the new building of Beit Knesset Ol Hari, together with so many close family and friends. We're truly overwhelmed and amazed by all the unbelievable acts of kindness the community has shown us in the past week in particular, and really from the moment we moved to Ra'anana almost 5 years ago. It's a community of people who know how to step up to the plate, much like the spirit of Purim. One of my favorite scenes in Megillat Esther is when Mordechai implores Esther to make the choice of speaking up for the Jewish people. Kim hacharesh tacharishi beit hazot, rebach batala yamod la'yehudi b'makom acher, v'yat beit avich tovedu, u'mi yodea im le'ed kazot higat l'malchut. If Esther sits still, the Jewish people will still prevail, but Hashem will bring salvation through other means. Perhaps the entire reason why Esther got to be queen is to step up for a moment like this, which demands action to help save the Jewish people. We're truly honored and humbled to be part of this great community. Estie and I want to especially thank our family who are with us here for making the special effort to come to Israel for Eitan's Brit at a very hectic time, particularly when you're planning to return to Israel for Pesach in just a few weeks. We thank Estie's siblings Daniel, Joe, and Mindy for rearranging their schedules around here to be with us. To our parents, Mom and Dad Feldman and Mom and Dad Agus, we love you and thank you so much for everything. We're so grateful to Hashem that all of you were able to make this trip to be with us here today. We miss Grandma Betty Feldman, who is unable to travel here, and we note the absence of our grandparents, Sally and Isaac Levenstein, Joseph Feldman, Ann and Robert Appel, and Edith and Chaim Agus, Zichronam Livracha. Now I'd like to discuss the name we chose for our son, Eitan Rafael. Eitan Rafael is named after three of my grandparents, Edith Agus, Dr. Chaim Agus, and Dr. Robert Appel, Zichronam Livracha. My grandmother, Edith Agus, or Ita Chaya, passed away just 15 months ago. She was a very elegant woman with a sharp wit and strong-minded nature. My grandmother symbolized the word Eitan, meaning strength or stability. She believed very strongly in supporting Israel and Jewish causes, and used to tell me how proud she was that our family lived in Israel, even though she was personally saddened by the fact that it was hard for us to see her. When she volunteered for causes, she took her role very seriously. As National Treasurer for Amit Women, she used to travel to Israel often to oversee recipient causes and make sure the money was properly spent. When she believed in something, she would very strongly advocate her position with words and action. A few days before she passed away, she expressed to me how Hashem blessed her with living a good life and that she was very thankful for that. Some elderly people have a lot of complaints, and I can certainly understand why. But my grandmother looked at the positive in her life and was very grateful for that. It's our hope that Eitan continues my grandmother's legacy of being blessed with not only physical strength, but also emotional strength and devotion to every task he tries to fulfill. We chose the name Rafael to symbolize the lives of both of my grandfathers. They were both known to be extremely dedicated physicians in their respective communities, Borough Park, Brooklyn, and the Lower East Side of Manhattan. They both worked tirelessly to cure patients way beyond the call of duty. A patient once told me how Dr. Chaim Agus once saved his life when he was a sick child by not leaving his bedside for 4 days straight to make sure he received the proper medical treatment and care. He was also a shochet, a Baal Koreh, and served in the U.S. Armed Forces under General Patton, who ultimately helped to free Jews from Buchenwald. My maternal grandfather, Dr. Robert Appel, was equally dedicated to his patients. I remember watching him on television in the 1970s, reported to be one of few doctors who still made house calls. He had the distinction of serving as a physician for Harav Moshe Feinstein, Zichrono Livracha. A patient of his, who happened to be Sarah's elementary school teacher in America, once told us that her mom once thanked my grandfather for healing her sick child. My grandfather replied that he was only a messenger, and that the true healer is Hashem. This is the real meaning of the name Rafael. Rav Darmoni described to me that there's also a connection between the name Eitan and Rafael. Tehillim Ketet begins with the words Maskil Eitan Ha'ezrachi, which are used to describe Abraham as a person who knew not only how to relate to Hashem, but also to people, and to channel his influence for a higher purpose. In the Gemara Baba Batra, one explanation given for the phrase Hashem Berach et Abraham Bakol is that according to Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai, Even Tova Hayta Tluya B'tzavaro shel Abraham Avinu shekol choleh haroeh oto miyad mitrapeh. According to this line of thought, Abraham was such a great and blessed person that Hashem even gave him the power to heal. So it's our hope that our Eitan Rafael has the zechut to take after his great-grandparents, which he's named for, as well as the many chains of ancestors linking all the way up to Abraham Avinu.
There is somewhat of a contradiction in the names of Eitan and Rafael. After all, Eitan means strength, and Rafael implies that the human condition is weakened and in need of being cured. But it is our bracha to our new baby that his name link this balance of his own personal strength versus seeking Hashem for physical and spiritual strength. We know that Eitan has great role models at home, with his 3 attentive big sisters, whose only argument this week has been on who gets to hold the baby first. And he is lucky to have his big brother Isaac to show him the ropes. Someone said to me, King Isaac now has a new apprentice in his palace. We go about our everyday lives thinking of our own actions and their effects on the world around us. Very often we forget about the true hidden agent in this whole process. As Rav Soloveitchik has said, the world we see is like the back of a tapestry, with all of the knots and loose strings, and it's not possible for us as humans to see the full picture of the completed tapestry. The hidden miracle, Nes Nistar, is one of the messages of Purim as well. The Nes Nistar can easily be explained using humans in the story. Hashem's name does not even appear in the Megillah. This message really hits close to home for us when it comes to childbirth. There's so many things that can go wrong. During pregnancies and childbirth. We are so grateful that this Nes Nistar happened to our new son. After 4 pregnancies in 5 years, I think many of you have never seen me with a waistline. We may not understand how Hashem works, but we're thankful for this extra bracha, Eitan Rafael, and we're thrilled to share this info with our